the latest. Thank you for your love and support. I appreciate you all. Sorry about my voice, and I hope to be with you soon. UN is losing its members because the members are pointing out the failure of the United Nations, an organization that was created to support humanity is turning out to be something that is only there for a few people. And African leaders are rising against this at the United Nations. And almost all the members that have spoken are all against the United Nations. The president of Namibia has also blasted the United Nations of its failure to treat people equally. We've seen the injustice in the United Nations. There are people who do things and go scot-free, and this organization is quick in acting against the weaker powers, which is not the best. If this is an organization for all, everybody must be treated equally, and this is what now all the members are fighting for.
To reaffirm faith in fundamental human rights, dignity of human person, and equal rights of men and women, and of nations, large and small, and to lay the groundwork for a durable system that promotes justice and respect for the obligations arising from treaties and international laws. While over the following decades, we have come closer to the brink of war, the United Nations has stood the test of time, from decolonization to promoting the right to self-determination, from conflict prevention and securing peace to the provision of humanitarian assistance. The UN has continued to fulfill its founding mandate under very difficult circumstances. Therefore, the international community must honor the brave men and women who, under the blue flag, have been at the forefront in the securing of world peace. Namibia's journey to independence is one of the UN's most successful stories. It was through this very organization that our forebears tirelessly petitioned for the end of apartheid, colonial rule in Namibia, for freedom and independence of our country. At this point, I want to thank the UN family for having held a special session in remembrance of our founding president, Comrade Sam Safishuna Nujoma, when he passed on. Madam President, my personal journey with the United Nations begins in 1974, where I have had the privilege to serve my country and Africa in various capacities within the halls of this distinguished global organ. Today, I am deeply honored and humbled to stand before you as the 5th President of the Republic of Namibia with a mandate to deliver services and to ensure justice of all inhabitants of our country. As a woman, I encourage every girl and woman by affirming that your voice matters, your vision is needed, as it will pave you a way to the helm of whatever institution you are serving. Madam President, Namibia's 8th administration is built on the strong foundation and legacy of our predecessors. Under the theme, Unity in Diversity, Natural Resources Beneficiation, and Youth Empowerment for Sustainable Development. That theme aims to shape and transform the Namibian economy through value addition and other economic activities. Hence, we have identified agriculture, sports, youth empowerment, education and training, creative industry, health services, land and housing as critical sectors supported by mining, energy, water, tourism, infrastructure development, transport, logistics, to sustain our economic development through our long-term development blueprint, Vision 2030. This vision is being implemented through a series of national development plans, NDPs. Recently, we launched the 6th NDP with its fundamental pillars clearly aligned to the global agenda, such as the SADC Regional Inductive Strategic Development Plan, the African Union Agenda 2063, and the UN Agenda 2030 for Sustainable Development. Some of our achievements include the launch and the operationalization of the National Youth Fund, which is to assist young entrepreneurs in their economic activities. In the area of education, we will abolish registration and tuition fees in all public institutions of higher learning and vocational training centers to ensure skill development. On energy, Namibia is diversifying her energy mix using all our natural resources. In addition, Namibia presented her energy compact at the African Energy Forum, thus enabling us to access concessional funding for national energy initiatives. Madam President, climate change is scorching our lands and drying up our rivers. Global instability is impacting our economies, our markets, and jeopardizing our livelihood. These are interconnected symptoms of deeper fragility in our shared system. They require our collective action rooted in apathy and shared responsibility. In this regard, I am glad to announce Namibia's bid to host the Africa Regional Hub of the Green Climate Fund. Furthermore, severe droughts, floods, and other climatics brought about by climate change cannot be overemphasized. Namibia calls for the implementation of the provision of the Namib Declaration on a strong United Nations Convention to combat desertification for a land degradation and neutral world. Namibia acknowledges the technological advance in all fields, but ethical boundaries must be respected. However, artificial intelligence must not be a substitute for human judgment or responsibility. We therefore call for a global standard that ensures that the usage of artificial intelligence remains transparent, fair for humanity. Youth unemployment, increased economic inequality, lack of adequate housing, quality education and health care, water, energy, and data distress are among the common challenges that no one country can address alone. Through multilateral cooperation, our collective action must ensure that we all forge ahead to make the world a better place and to work together on those challenges in line with our theme, Better Together. Madam President, 30 years since the adoption of the Beijing Declaration and Platform of Action, we have made much to celebrate and to ponder on. Namibia continues to make progress in the area of women participation in politics and decision-making. Currently, Namibia's cabinet has 57% of women. As we gear up to commemorate the 25th anniversary of the adoption of the UN Security Council Resolution 1325 on women, peace, and security, adopted during Namibia's presidency of the UN Security Council, Namibia will host two high-level events in Windhoek and New York. I look forward to the participation of all member states in those events to collectively reaffirm commitment to women, peace and security agenda. And through the Namibia International Women Peace Center, we will continue to advocate for the universal implementation of the Women, Peace and Security Agenda. Madam President, we note to the ongoing efforts of the UN to ensure that we remain fit for purpose, including the UN 8 initiative. We need an agile United Nations that is inclusive, respect of the UN Charter, and its purpose and principles must be our guiding star for our future endeavors.
And all humanity to be at peace. Nobody should rise and fight against the other. Like we are seeing other people protecting others to be causing whatever. Yet these are the same people who are coming and pointing fingers at Africa, are all in all the president in Mali, Niger and Burkina Faso, especially when they came out to point fingers at Captain Ibrahim Traore of using the resources in Burkina Faso to protect himself. Yet the same people are there claiming that with whatever these people are doing to other people, they are rather defending themselves. What about the resources that we have in Africa? So we've seen the hypocrisy, and this is what our leaders are fighting for. And that is why we are saying that we don't see the need to continue to be part of a place that we are not welcomed. Because we've seen that whatever that has to do with Africa, these people are not interested in. And we need to work collectively, united, against any injustice towards the African. We are all human beings. Like the Indonesia president said, as we all met in the UN, we met there as one human race. It is the African that can fight and look for solutions for its problems. If we continue to be talking, our voices wouldn't be heard. We need actions, because for 8 decades, this organization was formed. Like Dr. Rekana would say, for the purpose of its people, to protect them. All the people bringing out the injustice, the weakness of the organization, then we need to find another way of helping ourselves. Because nobody will solve the problem of the African if we don't rise up to find solutions to our own problems. Enough of the talking, because the people that we always go to cry to are the ones that are making us cry. So how will they ever dry the tears of the African? We need to have our own independent organization that will serve the interests of the African. World powers control this organization, and that is why they will do everything possible to defend the things that are not defendable. Allow other people to go around doing anything to others. Yet they come into Africa to determine the fate of the African. We have to fight for our own freedom and total liberation. And nobody will give this to us if we do not rise to claim it. Africa deserves the best, and the best can only be given to us when we rise up to fight. United we stand, divided we fall, and united we keep standing forever and ever. So that's the latest around the world and in Namibia.